Hi, welcome to all of Peggy and you. I really appreciate you guys, for those that have subscribed to this channel, for those that have dropped their comment, and those that have also liked my page. I love you all. And if you're watching this video right now and you're yet to subscribe, the subscribe button is just looking at you at your screen. Please go ahead and click on that, and you can drop your comment, also like my video. For those who don't know me, my name is Peggy Osifo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'll be talking about the struggle I went through buying a house with two of my friends. It was a lot of mixed feelings. One thing I must advise, if you want to carry out any business transaction, buying house or whatsoever that require you investing, please ensure there is a proper legal document signed and agreed upon, or agreed upon and signed, because in every 12 there's always a Judah. So never say this is my friend and you throw all that into the wind, or you throw away caution or overlook the other side. It's going to come back to bite you. Ensure there's a proper documentation and signed, sealed. So in May 2020, within that time, we three friends, we all came together and said, okay, let's buy a house, which was a great idea, very great idea. We'll buy a house, and whenever the time comes for us to move forward, and we can decide on what to do in the house, maybe put it in rent or even sell it, as at that time. But we're just going to live in the house peacefully. So while we pay rent, at least when we sell it, we have our money back. That was it. Said, okay, everyone will use their common sense. So in May, we moved into the house. And before then, I was already looking for a house to buy. I was already in that process. But when they came up with this idea, I said, why not, instead of struggling for approval and all that, which was already, I was just waiting for approval to see what I will be approved for before I go ahead to buy the house. So when these two friends came to me, I was like, why not? At least the mortgage will be easy for me to pay, and there will be much stress. And maybe when I get married or decide to move out of the city, it will not be a difficult decision for me to make. And that was why I agreed, and I said, okay, I moved ahead. Then I stopped the other plan I was doing, the other process. I stopped that and I moved on with them. And in May, we moved into the house, bought the house, found the house, and we moved in. So they were both living together prior, before then, buying the house. So we moved in that May. In December of that May of that 2020, one of them came and said, okay, that she wanted to rent out one of the room, and we're like, no, we decided to live in this house. You occupying 2 rooms does not mean that you have to rent out one of the room. No, you have to stay, because these two rooms was being occupied by her. The master bedroom was being occupied by the other girl, and I was living in the basement. And we're like, no, there's no third party to be in the house. And that went by. In February, her sister came over. To stay, but she didn't quite state it clearly that her sister was going to stay with her and all that. If not, we would have talked about it. But there was no proper, like, sit down talk, oh, someone is coming, let's talk about how the utility would then be reviewed and all that. There was nothing like that. And when she came after a month, I was like, okay, it looks like, because I already observed that she'll be staying over here. And we spoke to her and told her that since your sister will be staying with us here, we'll have to review the utility. And she asked me, how do I know that sister will be staying here with us? And I said, okay, when is she leaving? And that was how the whole problem started. There was argument. She called us evil. Like, there was no name that we're not called. Like, we're bad friends, we're this, we're that. Like, she's not supposed to pay the extra utility. The utilities we are asking about is just the gas, the water bill, and the hydro. So that was it. Definitely, without being told, or common sense, we tell anyone that with the number of persons using the utility, we kind of increase the bill. And that was what we're just trying to explain, even though this is common sense. But she wasn't getting it and said, oh, that the agreement was that 3 persons bought the house, so the 3 of us are to pay for the bills. And I said, then if 3 persons owns the house, 3 persons should incur the bill. So if there's any extra person in the house, that person should leave. And in short, it just spark up the whole thing. And after that, then after much argument back and forth, she agreed upon the percentage, a certain percentage. And we agreed that whenever the next person is coming to stay, not to visit, at least someone can come to visit for maybe a month or 2 weeks plus, and there's no problem with that. And that was agreed as at that time. There was no documentation. And in I think around July, or okay, so that one stretched out. We're no longer living as friends anymore. We're just the situation in the house was terrible, was seriously terrible. And after that, in November, the other of her sister moved over. This was then 2021 November, and of her sister moved in. I think October ending, the other one moved in. Then that stretched it through November. I kept quiet. Okay, maybe she's just going to stay here for some time and leave, which is what, within a month or so. And within that time, in December, they came up and was complaining, oh, the internet is no longer getting to their room, this one, that one, the internet is bad, that. Mind you, when we moved in, she also complained about the internet and got the what is it called, pod added to the internet, and we were paying for that, no problem. But for this time, oh, the internet, the speed is bad, this one is bad, the other one is bad. And she did a screenshot and said, my TV and my laptop and my phone, the other girl's TV, laptop and phone was the one draining the internet. Why her had laptop, because she was working from home, I was going to the office, laptop, phone and everything, the other sister's one was not doing anything to the internet. And I said, without being told, common sense should tell you that the number of persons in the house will reduce the speed of the internet. So you have someone in the house, that's why. So they stop disturbing everyone, and that actually spark up is a problem. And she was talking and talking. Mind you, after this time, I decided to kind of like keep quiet, because I wasn't responding to the chat anymore, because it was bothering me. When I respond, I get agitated, I get angry, I get all shaking. So I didn't want to put myself through that mental stress. I decided to stop responding to any of her antics, and I just stopped. So I think that also kind of like pissed her off if I don't respond. When she starts saying that when she talk, we're not responding and all that, because I was tired of the whole complaint. The house was just uncomfortable for everybody. And during that December and when she complained, I reminded her, we did agree at the first time that when someone else is coming to live in the house, you should tell us, and we'll review the utility again. Is this one staying, or she's leaving, or when is she leaving? And she then said she knows that I've kind of like had it in mind, I'm going to keep that, stuff like that. A bunch of so much talk. And I don't care, when is she leaving? Then we came back again and reviewed the utility. After much talk and argument, we agreed upon the percentage again for the utility. And this utility does not include internet or any other bill, not even mortgage, just utility, hydro, gas, and water. So during that time, there was so much argument in the house, and I said, okay, let's sell the house. And after that, the other girl said she doesn't agree. She's not in terms of selling the house. If anyone wants to take a buyout, you're welcome. And I think in around April or so, she came up and said, oh, she wants to buy out. Then said, okay, you're welcome. We agreed, and me and the other girl went to the bank. We got approved to own the house and all that. We came back and said, okay, now we want to pay you. And she said, oh, she didn't mean it. I was pissed that she can say she wants a buyout, but what she actually meant, she can decide to bring the house, the side of the house that she was living out. And we said, no, you can't rent it out. This house is not for rent. Because she has already pissed us off a whole lot. There is something that you could agree when you are just friends and when you're not friends. We couldn't just open that space, that vulnerability to her. It's so vulnerable to her to rent it out and bouncing in here and there and still doing whatever she's doing. We said, no, we'll not agree to it. And you can't rent it out. You wanted a buyout, and that's what you will get. There was so much talk. We didn't want to use a lawyer, but the situation, the house was so tensed. And finally, me and the other girl finally got a lawyer. We went back and forth with the lawyer for us and her, and she finally agreed to take at a certain percentage to buy out. To take the buyout. In August ending, she moved out of the house. And after she moved out of the house, she didn't pay her mortgage from August till we finally closed the deal in December. She didn't pay. She refused, and me and the other girl paid the bills while they moved out. Mind you, she locked both rooms. That was how, even after agreeing to take the buyout, we've done everything. Bank has concluded, finalized, and everything. Lawyer has finalized. For her to come sign the document, then she said she's not signing again and came up with some other nonsense agreement, nonsense terms, I mean to say. And we said, no, you go and sign it. You've agreed and you will do it. You have to do it. If not, we're ready to take the issue to court. So she finally signed it, and that was how the deal was closed. And my advice is here, or my lessons is that whenever you're doing any business, a transaction like that with anyone, please, there should be a legal document signed and agreed when you should bring someone to the house, and how long are those people supposed to stay in the house, how the house should be cleaned. There's so many things I did not say in this video when it comes to cleaning, taking out the snow and all that, even the grasses around the house. So whenever you're doing such a transaction with anyone, please ensure there is a proper legal document signed and agreed upon anyone before you venture into it. You never know how it's going to go. You will never know. People can switch up on you at any time, any given time. So ensure to do that, and I'll see you on my next video. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. I hope you've learned something from this experience. Ensure to subscribe, share, and drop your comment. If there's a topic you want us to talk about and you can put it on the comment section, please send it to my email and I will definitely review it. Thank you so much, and I love you all. See you on my next video. Bye.